What up, y'all? It's the Arcitype. We're at the Bridge Sound and Stage, and you are rocking with VSTV. I'm a producer-engineer out of Cambridge, Boston. I run the Bridge Sound and Stage, recording studio. I run AR Classic Records, independent hip-hop label. And I also am tied in with the Hip Hop Transformation, which is a youth, kind of a youth guidance program through hip-hop, teaches them all the history of hip-hop, the 5 elements, and basically gives them the tools to write and produce their own songs and learn how to record and basically create projects from scratch, collaborate with people. Helped co-found it a little bit with my man Darren. So the Bridge, I opened up the Bridge with my partner Owen Curtin in 2008 is when we moved in. We formally opened in 2009, January 2009. So we've been here now for what will be going on our 7th year. Over the years, I mean, it's all been in different capacities, but we've had artists like Sheryl Crow here, we've had Keen, we've had David Gray, we've had New Kids on the Block. In terms of hip-hop, we've had King Los, La Coca Nostra, Terminology, Rex, all the Boston cats. I mean, they all come through here. A lot of the Duck Down dudes, I've done a lot of work with those guys. So Sean Price, Rock from Helter Skelter, Jukes came up. I had Jared Evan come through. He's done a lot of work out of here. So we just kind of have an ongoing flux of hip-hop artists that come up. So any given day you come here, you never know who you might see or who might hear you. It's just that sense of opportunity is such an important thing. In the city of Boston, I don't think there's a ton of that feeling. But if I can kind of help create that sense, then it's wait, what are you guys going to do? You're going to Puerto Rico to shoot a video? And it's I like the whole concept. I was like, yeah, that is something you would do. That shit was crazy. And I was like, but that's super dope, and that's why I was like, yeah, I think this is gonna come out really ill. The original joint was super banging. I didn't have much of a hand in the original joint. I'm getting to work on the remix, and it's all-star cast. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It reminds me a little bit of just in vibe of some of the old Beatnuts kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like it's got that sense of just all the Latin flair just throughout the whole thing. You know what I mean? Examples where you look at the House of Pains and you look at the Slains and you look at those dudes, and them taking their heritage and their Irish background and putting it on the forefront. You know what I mean? And then you look at a Cypress Hill. You know what I mean? And what they did with it. You know, and I just feel in the same way that you rep where you're from, location where you're at that moment. Repping where you're from in terms of your heritage is dope, because it may not directly correlate. This record, for example, is basically 5 Puerto Rican, or 5 Puerto Ricans on a record, none of whom live in Puerto Rico. Yeah. That's why I thought it was dope that the original video was getting shot back there. You know what I mean? It was actually going to Puerto Rico and shooting it, because we all shoot from our locations and where we rep, you know what I mean? But this was taking it even further. You talk about some of the top legends in hip hop, and if Pun isn't mentioned, it's you're not doing your due diligence, you know what I mean? That's what I was talking about this record. You have Pun's son on a record with Nori, you know what I mean? We're talking about generations literally colliding, you know what I mean, and meshing, which is so dope. That's why the references in Nori's verse is crazy about how he knew his father and all that. It's just wild, So, one of the amazing things about hip hop is that it has brought an identity to cultures and given cultures a platform to really represent themselves and showcase what makes their culture theirs uniquely. It's opened its doors to all cultures. I mean, at this point, hip hop is practiced with worldwide. I mean, I think it's one of the best ways to create a language that everyone can kind of understand, and also open people up to what might be different, what might be similar, and all that. So I think the whole package is a cool idea, and I think it's anytime anyone's repping where they're from and doing it in a positive way, I think that's dope.
They never thought we could do it.
What?
fucking with real.
Hey yo, we back, baby.